this is the project today. We're using this debarking iron to create 2 poles for my washing line. I've got a project on today where I want to make a washing line and I want to use some natural materials. So for the uprights, I'm going to use some Norway Spruce, and that is a great excuse to dig out this old debarking iron, is what I call it. But it's a bark spud or a bark peeler or a peeling iron, and these are pretty cool because they peel off the bark really easily from the tree after it's been felled, and they usually got a slight concave to the top of the steel cutting edge, and they're relatively sharp, and yeah, these have been used for hundreds of years. I imagine these have been used since they've invented steel, and before that they would have used any old metal. I imagine that would be strong enough to take the bark off a tree, and I imagine stone prior to that as well. So these are soaked in rich history. So let's have a go at using one of these today, and yeah. So, how you use this tool, well, how I use this tool is I put my hand here most of the time, but sometimes I do hold it like this as well, and I work with the log. So I'm going to be working towards the camera, so the way it grows, so thick end at the other end, thin end towards the camera. I'm going to work down like that, and depending on how I feel, I'll do a little bit at a time or do long stretches. But what I do like to do first is just remove the end. Now the end's removed, you can now put your foot here and spin it and work that away. So that's pretty hard work really, Like, it's a lot of physical work just to strip a pole, and being Norway spruce, really it's not going to last that long in the ground. And what I'm going to do next should give it a bit more of a fighting chance. The ancients, as I know it, used to burn the ends to charcoal it to preserve it. I don't know if it really does work, but I'm going to do it anyway to give it a fighting chance. And that's just what I've been told, so I'll do that. Really, you could just go out and buy a big metal pole and stick it in the ground for 20 quid and a bit of concrete, but this is a bit more aesthetic and it's a bit more fun, isn't it? You've got a bit more pride on the activity as well, and it's a great excuse to use some old tools and sort of get back to your roots, really. Yeah, it's cool. It's nice to own tools because I'm a collector of tools myself, but it's better to use the tools, isn't it? Here's one that I've started to charcoal, and that is what you're looking for, that burn. So, so they're looking pretty charcoaled now. I've made sure I'm getting the ends. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to move them through, and that'll burn them. I want to burn them at least 3 foot, really.
Ooh, my cheeks are a bit warm.
Which ones?
That one.
So the fire's at a really good stage now. I'm finding that this sort of level you can really control the burn, and this has cooled down this end quite a lot now, so I can handle it instead of going in the smoky long end, and you've got a bit more control. And I found that burning the shavings is quite a good way of getting a more of a controlled burn as well, by putting the shavings on the bit where you want it. That seems to work quite well as well. And I'm assuming you want it to blister like this for the protection. That's what I'm guessing. Well, that's what I chatted to someone years ago who knew a lot more about this than I did, and that's where I've learned it from. And he did mention something about this level, but he wasn't sure. It was all trial and error for him as well. So it's looking pretty good though. Quite happy with this. I only want it about that really, so this is too much, but it doesn't matter. It just flakes off. It's solid, absolutely solid underneath as well. So I'm only burning the exterior. Solid still. So we've peeled, we've charcoaled the ends, so now all we need to do is dig the holes and tamp them in and run the line. Just look how that's blistered up, and look at that peel on there. Look how that's peeled, so smooth. And there's a good example of where I've done it with the chainsaw and it's really rough, but then it goes to really smooth. It does leave a lovely finish, that peeler. If we take it in the ground approximately 3 foot, that should be enough to support washing. Right, that was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. That ground is the best ground I've ever dug in, and I've gone in about 3 foot, so that's pretty good. And I've just got some loose gravel for a free draining hole. Okay, there's the finished one, and it's really, there is wobble, but mainly because of how tall it is. Yeah, proud of that. Okay, this is just a quick explanation of how it's going to go together. So that's on one pole, that's on the other pole, and then this string, that goes down to a cleat, that one goes down to another cleat, and then when you want to let it down, you just undo it, and that'll just fall down like that. Then you tie the washing on, and then you pull him back up again. These are just bits I had knocking about, so it ain't costing me nothing. Brilliant. Right. Onto the cleat. Right, job done.